The Trump DOJ is done playing games with woke institutions. Years of Biden-era policies ruined countless lives for students, parents, even teachers. Now the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division has sued Harvard for stonewalling race-related admissions records. What a turnaround from the Autopen administration. So let's welcome in live the primetime player over there at DOJ on all this, the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, Harmeet Dhillon. Harmeet, welcome. Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ed.
Let's talk Harvard. A few weeks ago, the Justice Department filed this suit against the university, accusing them of unlawfully withholding critical admissions data, documents related to race, ethnicity, and DEI policies. What message are you trying to send with this suit, and what do you think they're hiding?
Well, Ed, last week, after months of negotiation with Harvard, where we tried to get them to comply with their federal statutory obligation to provide this data to us, we finally threw in the towel and said, we've had it. They're clearly playing games and they're not serious about settling with the United States. And so we've gone to court to enforce our right as the Department of Justice to review this data. Now, every other agency, I mean, DOJ gives them some money, so we have the right to get this information, but every other agency that gives them money also has the right to this data, and you have to wonder what they're hiding. In 2023, United States Supreme Court told them they could no longer discriminate on the basis of race against Asians and whites in that lawsuit, and yet it appears from recent data that's been publicly disclosed, they're definitely continuing to discriminate against whites. So let them prove otherwise. I don't know why they're hiding it.
Very interesting. There's some other lawsuits you've announced last week as well. Public schools in California and Michigan. I want to start in L.A. The DOJ just joined a suit against the L.A. Unified School District over a program that labels non-white areas as disadvantaged and literally hands out extra funding and magnet school preferences based on racial makeup. What is going on there?
Well, this is kind of a crazy story. It's hard to believe, but basically there was a private lawsuit decades ago, and as a result of that lawsuit, Los Angeles implemented a formula system that if the district, the sort of sub-district within the school district is 30% or more white, they kind of get the least funding per capita. And if they have more minority students in the district, then they'll get additional funding to lower the ratio of teachers to students to 5.5 to 1. There's also additional magnet funding for those districts that are more minority in makeup than white. And so this is clearly illegal under United States law, the very same law that we pointed to in the Harvard case. And it's not fair or legal to discriminate against any citizen in our country for government benefits on the basis of their race, whatever that race is. So this is the biggest, if not one of the biggest school districts in the United States. And this is, millions of students there. So this is big stuff, and we're going to take it very seriously.
We love that you're taking it on. And there's some breaking news, as you probably know. Today, this same school district in L.A., the FBI just raided the home of the superintendent, Alberto Carvalho, and the main office there at the school district was raided. What do you think the FBI may be looking at? It seems like a bad afternoon for Gavin Newsom there in California.
Well, this is the type of action you would see in a public corruption kind of a case, so I really can't say more. I think the search warrant will end up being unsealed at some point, and there'll be more to be said about this. But your viewers need to know, and I lived in California for 25 years before I answered the president's call to duty. And in California, the #1 most important player in electing Democrats in that state is the teachers union, and that's a fact. Anyone can look that up. And so the amount of money that flows through these bloated school districts, which, by the way, have incredibly bad performance outcomes for students in the public schools, is sick. And there's just a lot of extra bloat in there, and probably opportunity for some people to enrich themselves. But let's wait and see for the search warrant to be unsealed or indictments to come before we say more.
I get where you're headed, and it's interesting because you're right. The tragedy is there's likely theft in various areas while the students are the ones really being robbed because they're getting horrible performance, and it's disgusting. Harmeet Dhillon, we're glad you're doing something about it. Thanks for coming on.